today's really cool because your album, your EP dropped today.
Yes.
13 songs.
Yes.
Okay.
Full deal.
Because I'm not someone, I don't write music. I'm obviously not a performer. How is it when you're just like, you put so much time and energy and you're like, and it's out. It's here. It's in the world.
It's really weird because it feels, I think, in ye old days, aka 10 years ago, I think, the album release day must have been they used to go to the Times Square like record store. Yeah. They would buy the first album, at the record store. People were lining up at midnight in Times Square. Like, I'm sure that felt more real. I have to assume. But now it's just like, it's 9 p.m. on the West Coast, and I'm like, hey, the album's out, everybody.
You're like tweeting it out.
Yeah, it's just out, and I'm like, okay, go listen to it. It's a really strange feeling. I haven't really had a moment to really let it sink in. But I think I'm this afternoon, we're working all day and going out and promoting it and trying to get everybody super psyched. And then I'm hoping that this afternoon I'm going to get a second. I have a very expensive bottle of champagne that was a gift like a year and a half ago that I haven't done anything with. So I'm going to pop that baby open.
Amazing.
And I'm going to sit. I would love to just be by I've been around everybody. I want to take a second today where I sit by myself and drink copious amounts of champagne and just like, I did it. Yeah. Really let loose.
I love that so much. It is. I actually was talking about that this morning on how sometimes it does take a while for things to set in, especially when there's been such like a huge like build up to it.
It'll be 3 weeks probably until I'm like, oh, my record came out.
You're like, wait a second. This happened.
Yes.
Is there more champagne? Can I get into that?
Mostly that. Yeah.
Well, listen, how long have you worked on this? Like how long has this process even been for you?
Comparatively to my other records, to be honest with you, it came up much faster.
Really?
The thing that I wanted to do more than anything was turn around the music more quickly, because when you write a song and you're psyched about it and then you sit on it for 2.5 years and then the record comes out and you're like, I hate this song now.
That's not where I am anymore as a person.
I've been listening to it for 2 years and I was excited about it for the year after I wrote it, and now I'm like, you have to kind of like find a way to re-fall in love with it. And I feel like I'm still listening to the album that I just put out today, and I'm still like, it feels fresh. It feels really like immediate and urgent. And I think that is something I really wanted, because it's an actual representation of where I'm at. It's actually me now, not me from the last 3 years of accumulating this music. So it came together probably in about, it's still a year and a half, I think, is probably the longest, like the earliest music we wrote for it. But it feels like it came together so quickly compared to my other records.
That's so interesting, because I feel like, again, not a songwriter, but I am someone who has gotten into the habit of journaling. I feel like that's just been a really good self-care for me.
Love journaling. What's your journal of choice? Are you a Moleskine gal? What's your...
No, I just have like ones I picked up from Anthropology, although I will say, and I know this isn't like super sexy, I just write in my notes on my phone now, because...
That is not very sexy, but I like it. It's faster though.
It's faster.
Lightning thumbs versus...
Yeah, and I can do it from anywhere. So if I'm at like a coffee shop, like I'm not just keeping
so
like...
if I steal your phone, I could see into all of your deepest, darkest secrets.
You could, maybe. But it's funny, like, where I think one of my favorite things to do though is go back in my notes, and you look about like where that growth happened.
Least favorite thing to do when I read back my journal entries, they're so embarrassing and horrifying to me.
But you don't look at that and you're like, wow, I've come so far.
Yes, I mean, sure, yes, I will say, but I have trouble reading my journal back actually, because it makes me so like I don't want to do it. Yeah, because it's very raw, right? So then it's like uncomfortable almost to look back at it.
But that's how I feel like, I mean, if I were to be you and write a song, and that's such a vulnerable thing to do, right? And then you go back and you listen to it and you're like, I'm not that person anymore.
Yeah, it does. There are weird moments. Like I had a song on my first record that I loved, and I loved singing it, and it was about the person that I was with when I wrote it. And then we broke up. And I was on tour when we broke up, and I was like, I don't know if I want to sing this song anymore. And so I took a break from it, took it out of the set, because I was like, it's too emotional for me. People would be like, play that song, and I'd be like, no, I literally can't.
That guy sucks.
Yeah. So I think there are definitely moments where I'm like, ooh, this one hurts a little bit more today. But also the thing I love about music, and especially like my music and the journey I've had with it, is that I re-fall in love with songs all the time, right? So I'll finish a song and it will be such a nightmare to finish. Like there was one song on this record, Do With It is one of my favorite songs on the album, but it was literally a nightmare to finish, and it drove us all crazy because we wanted to get it right. And so we killed ourselves trying to finish the song. And by the time it was finished, I was like, I literally hate this song. And then now the record's out and it's done, and I listen to it and I'm like, oh yeah, I love this song. So that kind of the roller coaster, and like when songs are about something when you write it, and then a year later all of a sudden it's about something completely different, but it still is just as real. Like that, when a song can grow with you and mean different things to you as you change, but the music is kind of still there for you. That's one of my favorite parts about writing.
Oh, that's just like what I love about music in general, you know, because I was listening to, okay, so I actually had this experience this morning, and there is like, I don't know, have you seen like there's horoscope playlists now, like
wow,
that a certain mood. Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Okay, so I'm gonna share that with you.
Yes,
but
please.
So I'm an Aquarius. So I was listening to mine. It updated this morning. So I was listening to it, and this song came on my playlist, and I started like fully crying,
sobbing.
And it wasn't even about something I was going through now. Wow. It was something that I had been through like a year or whatever ago, like that type of like heartbreak or whatever. And I was like, whoa. And it was just like that moment where I was like, music has that effect, right?
Yes.
Like it's always awesome when you listen to songs and it just has this impact where it can hit you in your soul.
When it gets into you and you have that moment of like, I'm not okay right now. I think it's really rare, but it's like, it's one of the more special kind of experiences and feelings I've ever been a part of.
Yeah. It was Kehlani Peace of Mind, by the way.
God, I love her.
So good.
I love her.
Love her music so much.
I know.
But that's like what I think about is like, that's just me listening to it. Like I can't imagine writing it, right? And
then
listening
I think
to it.
There's so much that goes into making a record, and so much of like, I wish I could say that the bulk of the experience of making an album is all passion and fun, but so much of it is work. It's just, especially when you want to get it right and you don't want to settle, and you kind of, I feel like I've spent a lot of time really, really kind of making myself crazy because I want it to be the best it could be.
Oh yeah.
And so I think the actual writing of a song, I mean, sometimes I'll leave a session and be like, that was really therapeutic, but also so much of my music, when I'm writing it, I'm thinking about how is it going to affect other people, and not in a way where I'm like, is everyone going to like it? It's not like a self-conscious thing. I think it's more like, how do I make this universal so that someone could listen to this and go, I feel like you wrote it about me. Because it's not just about me. It's about the people who are going to take this song and experience it in their own way and take their stories. And you know, music is the only form of art that you can take in while you're doing other stuff. You know, you can't watch a movie and drive. I mean, you could, but it would be very dangerous. But like, you know, people tell me like, I got engaged to this song, or, you know, I broke up with my boyfriend and listened to this album nonstop, or my friends and I took a road trip and all we listened to was you. It's like, music is the background to life experience. Yeah. And so to be the soundtrack to somebody's life, to share that with somebody and have them come to the show and then be like, I have to tell you, this song means this to me. It's so like, cool. It's the coolest part about what I do. And that's why I think when I'm writing the music, I'm so like, how do I make this that song? How do I make this applicable to every single person who's ever been through this? Because it's not just about me. I know that heartbreak is human emotion. Self-consciousness is a human emotion. You know, falling in love is a human emotion. Everybody can share that. And I think my favorite songs that I grew up listening to that had that hit you right in the soul thing were the ones where I went, oh my God, like Joni Mitchell wrote this about my life. How did she do this? You know?
Yeah. Oh, girl, that's awesome. Well, I mean, I'm so excited for you. I will say, I literally just realized that you had done the Queer Eye intro.
Just right now?
No, I mean, it was like this morning. Okay. And I was just like, because I was like, I never put two and two together.
Yes, that was me.
And that is like so, and obvious. Like,
did you see the music video?
Yes.
It's cute.
So fun. It's cute as hell.
Yes. It is real cute.
How did that come about? Like, it's just because it was, what's so cool about that was when it first came out too, just like, I mean, I binge watched it in a day, and I had never actually, so embarrassing, I never watched the original
it was a while ago. It's okay. It's not embarrassing. It's okay.
I think it was younger then too. But then I have just, you know, now they have announced season 3 and everything, and these guys in a year have just kind of blown up.
Their lives have completely changed. It's wild.
So how did that come across your lap?
Well, the first season was out, and so I was completely obsessed with them, and you know, as the world was completely obsessed with them, and I got the call from my manager being like, Netflix reached out and wants you to remake the intro to Queer Eye. And so I sort of thought it was like going to be like a cute thing that I would do that someone would cover, and it would be this like small sort. I didn't really realize like the scale to which I was like, yes, I'll do anything for Queer Eye because I'm obsessed with them.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I don't even want to know.
Do you
what
want me to
is.
hum the intro? I'll do it.
Yes, 100% naked on Hollywood Boulevard. I'll do what you want. I'm so excited, and so I said yes without really like understanding the scale of what we were doing. And then they were like, they want to shoot a music video. And again, I figured it was just gonna be me doing something kind of like a content, whatever. And then I start to get details and I'm like, oh, am I going to be in Queer Eye? They were like, basically that's the idea. And I was like, I am shook. So I was like, I kind of felt very at equal points, like totally out of and also completely in my element. Because I walked onto the soundstage and the first thing I saw was Karamo with all the glitter tissue boxes, and he was pulling out the tissues and like laughing, and he was like, ah, and he looked so handsome. He was laying on his side, and I was like, I can't believe this is happening to me right now. So we had the best time, all of us like dancing, and Tan stole my wardrobe, and we had the best day.
You're like, thank you.
Seriously.
Like, honestly,
it was so fun.
If Tan were to steal anything in my wardrobe, I'd be like honored, blessed.
I feel
thank you.
So lucky. Literally, I walked in, I was like, there was a corset, right? And she was like, Tan took it, and I was like, oh, now I want it more because I know he's like, he gets me.
Buy it.
Yeah, if you watch the music video, the white corset that Tan is wearing was mine originally.
Get out.
I know, and he took it.
That's amazing. And you know,
he was like, sorry, babe. I was like, you look better in it than I do. It's okay.
When you though walked into the building this morning, and I was just like, oh, this woman knows how to dress. I love it. Like, so fierce.
I feel a little bit like female Captain America, like World War II
Wait,
pilot.
Into it.
Yeah.
Marvel reference. Hello.
I'm here for you. Yes.
I love it. No, but I just was like, okay, you have this like presence about you, this force, and it's like very commanding, but not in a
completely
aggressive
intimidating way.
Yeah.
Great.
It's just like, but I was just like, okay, I'm like really, I don't know.
You.
Like I was like, I'm really excited for this interview even more.
Thank you. To be honest with you, I'm running on 3 hours of sleep right now, so that means actually the world. If you're saying I'm doing it and I'm showing up and I'm great, I'll take it.
We've all had like those, like I know I've rolled into work on like 45 minutes of sleep before, and I was like, I need a good concealer.
Yes.
And
God bless.
just some foundation, anything.
I know. It was our last Panic at the Disco show last night.
Oh, yes.
In Anaheim.
How was it?
It was amazing. Brendan brought me out on stage. I got to sing Girls,
Boys.
He's the
nicest person ever.
I am completely obsessed with every single person that was on that tour. We had literally the best. I've done enough tours to know that like what they have is really, really special. I cannot speak highly enough about them.
When people ask, because people are like, okay, so tell me like who's the nicest person you've ever interviewed, and I'm like, honestly, like
Brendan Urie.
Yeah.
He
was just like the walked in, and I was just like, are we best friends now?
Am I gonna kiss you on the mouth, or are we best friends? I can't tell.
I don't know.
I know.
But that's like the fact that you got to also experience that too, and I know that show was sold out last night.
Oh yeah, and the whole tour has been sold out.
Yeah. Which is
crazy.
Incredible. Like what was one thing that you really just like being on tour with them that maybe that you, because I'm all about learning from other people,
That's
right?
me too.
Especially in your craft.
I was like, I asked to listen to his mix so I can hear what he's hearing on stage, so I can see what like his vibe is. I like attacked him one night. I was like, tell me about your vocal warm-ups. I was like, I need to know all about your vocal health. So I was pretty like obsessive about trying to learn as much as I could while I was there.
Was there something that really resonated with, like really stuck with you?
To be honest with you, the thing that I found really inspiring was it is easily the most entertaining arena show I have ever seen with no dancers. Because dancers are they're such a hot commodity for an arena tour.
Mm-hmm.
You got all this space. You have to entertain all these people. Yeah. I'm a dancer. I love to, I want to have dancers. That's like to be on a tour that doesn't have dances that was at that scale and be that entertained and be truly like impressed. You don't have to know the music to show up and enjoy that show, which I think is so rare, because every other show I've literally ever been to in the last 5 years, if I don't know the music, I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
It's hard to get into it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not really a fan. I came because I want to be, but I'm finding my way. And to be at the show, I knew probably like a third of the set pretty well, and I'd like heard a bunch of the songs, but I didn't really like know them. And I sat the first night and watched it, and I could not believe how entertaining it was and how charismatic and spectacular he is. He is a force to be reckoned with.
I'm just really happy like for everything that's been happening with you, and the fact that like you just got to come off this like amazing tour with them. Your EP dropped today.
Yes.
I think there's a lot to celebrate right now.
There's so, you know what? And I'm going to do it with a big old glass of champagne later.
Girl, I'm happy for you. Well, listen, I want to see your performance.
Yeah,
so I know we got to do that right now. But thank you for coming to KIIS-FM.
We're going to have to chat like horoscopes and Harry Potter later.
Oh, We will.
Off camera. Yeah. Sorry, we gotta go gab.
Yep. Betty who?